Hi friends, today I'm going to show you how to make your own wall art, small weaving hanging. You're going to make a loom and then you're going to cut yarn and you're going to wrap it around and weave in other yarns, maybe ribbons. We're going to use what you have on hand. A 6 by 10 piece of cardboard. The cardboard should be thick, sturdy, and on the top and on the bottom you're going to mark out where you're going to put notches. And the notches will be, you're going to measure them out a ½ inch apart, and then when you cut them, you're going to cut down about an inch. We're going to use what we have on hand. Be sure to create an even number of notches in the top and the bottom. 12 notches works great in this loom. One of the first steps, you're going to choose yarn, any weight, any color, any style, it doesn't matter. And this is just yarn that I have on hand from other projects. Later on, when we're actually weaving, we're going to put ribbon in. So now you have your yarn wrapped around your loom, over and over and over and over, through the notches so it's nice and secure and firm. And then you're going to tuck your tails. You're going to leave room on your tail several inches and tuck it underneath. Get our next yarn that we're going to start weaving with. Might want to cut like a 3-foot length because we always can add. We're going to interchange the yarns. You're going to need a needle to thread in and out of the yarn. So we're going to take this cardboard and make a long triangle shape. This is the first one I cut out. It was too short, so I ended up cutting a second one out that was 6 inches long. You'll cut a notch at the end so you can string your yarn through. String your yarn through the notch. You can tie it, and that will be your needle. I'm going to give it a double tie. Okay. We'll start at the bottom. So you've wrapped your yarn around the loom in the notches. You'll take your first string and tie it off on the back side. You'll take your needle and you're going to start going over under each string, and you'll bring it through to the end. Pull the string through. Then you'll go opposite, over under till you get to the end again. Pull the string all the way through. You'll gently, with your fingertips, push the yarn down so it touches together with the bottom yarn. You'll leave it a little loose at the ends so you can have a little pull to make it even. And it's okay if it sticks out a little bit. You're going to change your yarn. You're going to cut the other piece off and tie on the new yarn. And then again, you'll attach it to the needle. So here's where I made the longer needle, and it works so much better. So you can go all the way across, and it works faster to pull your yarn through. And the little tied off pieces, just tuck them under the back side. This is a great project where you can be creative, use different types of materials. Here I'm using a ribbon just to have a little different texture. I'm tying it off the same way, and I'm just going to use it going once across. So as you string your ribbon through or other materials, you'll just take a little time to straighten it as you go. And then once you get the next line in, you can again straighten it and tuck in whatever ends are sticking out. Besides a wall hanging, you can also make coasters or different objects to use around the house. Just a reminder, don't pull your strings tight. Leave them loose within the loom, and as you weave in and out, you can adjust as you go. So too tight will make it seem like it's cinched, and we just want it to be kind of the same width as you started with. This is a great project for all ages. You can work alone, or work in a pair, or work in groups. I also suggest don't rush your project. Take your time, be creative, have fun with it, try new materials, and make a great piece of art. So now we're at the end of the project, and we're going to tie off the last piece of string, and we're going to take the piece of string we started with and also tie it off. And there we go. We have a weaving. We wove. To finish it, you'd usually use a dowel, some type of stick, but I've used a pencil because that's what I had on hand. So I'm just taking the string, wrapping it around the pencil. I'm using 3 different colors. Oh, there's a nosy little kitten trying to steal my yarn. That's my baby kitten Dwight. So this is probably one of the most important parts. You're going to turn your loom around and you're going to cut down the center of the yarn. And we're going to pull it off of the loom, off of the notches. It's not going to fall apart because you've woven it pretty well. And then it should be an even number of strings. So we'll pair the strings up on each side and we'll give them 2 knots. Don't pull the strings too tight. Actually, you don't want to pull them tight at all. Just nice, loose double knots. And you'll turn it around and do the other side also. Pair the strings up and give 2 knots. So at this part we're going to add the dowels. Separate the paired string ties that you just created. Just going to pull them apart. We're going to lay the pencil in, and now we're going to tie them again. Double knot. Tie the dowel or pencil inside the knots. Now the dowel is secure. And now we're going to cut the bottom strings, make the fringe, as long as you like. I left about 2.5 inches. You're going to turn it around and also do the same thing. Cut the I cut them kind of short at the top. I had wished I left them a little longer. I should have made an extra knot. Now I took 3 strings, tied it to one end of the dowel. This is going to be your hanger. And this I braided. You don't have to braid. You could leave it as a loose hanger, but I braided it. And then I tied it onto the other side of the dowel. Straightening the weaving up. And now we have a beautiful wall hanging. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see what you create.